Okay, it's time to make a new score. And this is going to be our last new score of the week. And then we're going to play around with some other stuff for the remainder of the week. Click the new score button. You should be maybe getting a little used to this. So keyboards, piano, add the piano in there. Click the next button. What we're going to be doing today are triads. We're going to be doing, these are all technical exercises this week, just to get us started with our input practice. We're going to be doing solid triads in the key of F major, which has one flat, so I'm going to select that as my key signature. And I'll leave everything else the same for now, except I want to show you something. So I'm just going to set this up. You can do this for yourself too, so you can kind of experiment with what this is going to look like. I'm going to way reduce the amount of measures given. I'm going to just put 3. And this is going to make sure we're not going to have enough measures to do the whole thing. So I'll show you how to add measures when you decide at some point, like, ooh, I didn't set up enough measures. Let's add some more. It's really easy to do, but I figured we would go through that together. Okay, we're going to call these F major triads, and maybe just in brackets I'll put solid. And this is our third score, chore. So let's put in score 3 and hit done. Get rid of the composer arranger thing. You know what I'm also thinking? Maybe this is like a little bit small. My eyes kind of have to squint at this. So I'm going to go in the bottom right corner and hit the zoom button, the plus button. Give us a lot. That looks a lot nicer to the eyes. Okay, so let's start by composing our triads. Now, solid triads are typically composed with a quarter note and then a quarter rest. Quarter note, quarter rest. And that's going to give us an opportunity to practice entering rests. So let's start by getting into note input mode. Oh, I just hit the play button. Let's hit N for our note input. There we go. And I'm going to build my first chord. I want a quarter note, so everything's set up there. Number 5 is my quarter note, hotkey. Oh, wait a second. That's just one note. I need to build a whole chord, but it looks like my cursor's already moved on past the note I just made. Fear not, there is a way that we can stack notes really easily with hotkeys without having to do anything fancy. So I'm going to hold down the shift button. And the next note, if I think of an F major chord, F, A, C. So I've got my F already. Hold down shift, and I'm going to shift A. That's my next note. Look, it builds it on top of each other. And shift C. There it is. I've got a happy little chord. Now I'm ready to move on to the next chord, but I need a rest. So rests are always inputted with the number 0. So I'm going to use the arrows. You can use the side to side, left to right arrows to scroll across your music. If I've got a quarter note selected, remember quarter note is number 5. When I hit the 0 button for a rest, it's going to be a quarter rest. But if I had, like, I don't know, an 8th note inputted, so number 4, and then I hit the rest button, I hit 0, I get 8th rests. So in order to build a rest, you have to select your type, your unit. In this case, it's a quarter. So we're going to do a quarter rest 0. All right. And that's how we're going to input the next set. I'm going to hit an A, stack it up with a C, stack it up with an F. There's our next triad, 0. Now we're going to move on. The next inversion is going to be C, F, Shift A. I'm going to hit a 0 for the rest. And we're back up to root position, up an octave. So F, Shift A, Shift C. A 0. And now we're going to start going down. But all of a sudden, I'm realizing, oh no, I am not going to have enough room to finish this. I only have one measure left. I've got a lot more work to do than that. Plus, I have some left-hand stuff coming too. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to select the last measure. It doesn't really matter where you input it. If you input new measures here, it's going to break up what we've already created. So that'd be kind of weird. So I'll just right-click. And there's this funny. It's not really funny. Wrong choice of word. Funky? No, that's not the right word either. Oh dear, everything's going wrong. I'm going to click Insert Measures after selection. You can do before too. It doesn't really matter. You can copy, paste, move things around. But Insert Measures after selection, and then it's going to ask me how many measures I want to enter. Actually, I have no idea. How many more measures do I think we need? Like maybe 5, but I want to add some extras just because it's easy to delete them if I have too many. Let's do 12 just for good measure. Hey, I've got 12 new measures. Now I can continue building my triads. And I got to do second inversion, so let's make sure I'm on quarter notes, C and F. And let's pretend I hit the wrong note. So instead of A, I hit a G. Ooh, bad note. Didn't mean to do that. There's a couple ways I can fix this. Easy is just Control Z or whatever the undo hotkey is for your system. Yay, it's gone. Shift A, 0, and I'm going to make another mistake. So let's start building another chord. I've got an A and shift, let's say hit B by accident. Ugh, don't like that. I can also just see that the note I just hit is selected. So I just use the arrows to find the right note that I'm going for. There we go, all fixed. Shift F, 0, I've got one more to go. So here's my root position, F, Shift A, Shift C. All done. So that's all done for the triads and the right hand solid. And as I've done with the other scores, I'm just going to copy paste because it's going to make our life a lot easier. I'm going to copy it and paste it into the bass clef. As always, those are way too crazy with the ledger lines. So Control down arrow to change the octave. I'm going to make them nice and low just so we can minimize the amount of ledger lines we've got going on. And look at this. Look at all this extra room that we have. We have all these extra measures that we don't need. So Control Delete or Control Backspace is going to get rid of them. And there we go. We've got our F major triads inputted. Again, the formatting of this looks not that nice. We're going to deal with that tomorrow. For now, all we're going to do here is save it. Going to save it as my score 3 F major triads. Score 3. There we go. Save it as a Musescore file. It's the default, so that's what we want. And there it is. Meet you back tomorrow.